Hi, I'm Janine Wolf. I want to invite you to take a peek behind the scenes as I discuss with some members of our Oasis for Therapists peer consultation group and support community. We sit down together and talk about the things that they really love about participating in our community and the ways that it has evolved since it started and the things that are really great takeaways from their experience so you can decide if maybe our community would be right for you too.
Yeah. So we have a couple of Oasis for Therapists members here tonight, and they're going to just share a little bit about the group and what they find value in, and any thoughts that they want to share. So Renee, what do you like most about the peer consultation community?
I love having a safe space for discussion around some things that I might be struggling with. But also just really the camaraderie of like-minded clinicians who value input from their peers in a way that is supportive and is fun. Like, we have some fun. We have happy hours and we have, lots of fun discussions. And so it's not all sort of, super textbook oriented,
Right.
very serious, but we can get serious if we need to, right? And really supportive. And it's great to have that in the online space where you're not trying to do it in a social media group of some type or something like that, where people are just commenting on you. It's really nice to be able to have that verbal feedback and to have people looking back at you in community with you and really being able to get some help when we need it. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. That was a really good summary of the program. So Anne, do you have any thoughts you want to share? Like, what are the biggest benefits that you have found?
Yeah, sure. The one of the things that I love about the group is that it's a place to bring some case studies, some situations that I might be dealing with clinically, but it's also a place where, I can get some support for myself as a therapist and, in my role as a therapist. And so that's been very helpful. I love the continuity of it, the reliability of it. I know that I've got a few peers that I can reach out to, just, former colleagues and that kind of thing. But to know that there is a group that I can come to on a regular basis is hugely helpful to me. It's kind of that consistency and reliability of it.
Yeah, good. Okay.
One of the things that I find really, really beneficial, it's not just about my private practice and about me being a therapist. It's also about me being a person and a giver and being amongst other people that are like-minded and knowing that I can reach out to you guys for more than just consult on a case. Sometimes we go through stuff in our personal life and, you've allowed us an opportunity to meet each other where we are and to help one another, even if we're across the pond or across the street. And that has been really, really helpful. I used to have a vibrant, I call private practice, but I do a lot of I work for 2 companies and I do 1099 work. I really don't like the billing part of owning a business and the marketing stuff. So I prefer to work it another way. And having to really come to that realization, and it was this group that, kind of supported me through the decision to open up my practice back again and realize that that was something I was uncomfortable with. And each business doesn't have to have the exact same model. I'm still a business owner and I work for myself and I provide the same level of service, even though I don't do those billing and the marketing type stuff. And that was a big leap for me early on this year and late last year coming to that. And it was because of you and your support and my Oasis group.
Yeah, and that's, it's so nice to see some people evolve in the way they're going with their practices. And you bring up such a good point. We have people that work for group practices. We have people who are 1099. We have people who work, they have like either an online private practice that's their solo practitioners, or plan to go back face-to-face one day, solo practitioners. We have people who, a couple of people came in over the summer that had just opened their private practice, and they were like, do you think this will be beneficial to me? And I was like, well, yeah, because when you are just in private practice, there's so many things you don't know, and deciding about like cancellation policies and all of that stuff. So this provides a place to ask those questions as well. But one of the things that just thrilled me, that I guess I didn't think it wouldn't happen, I just didn't think about it, was that, and you guys can tell me if you agree with this, but there's usually at every single group meeting, somebody will go, oh my gosh, that case is really hard. Like that, you are really struggling with that. And how are you doing? And that care and compassion, it just thrills my heart, because that's so much that we need in our community as therapists. And somebody that understands why that case is hard and what you might be struggling with, and whether it has really nothing to do with the client per se, but your own internal struggles. We have a place to do all of those things.
For sure. Private practice can be very isolating. Solo practice can be very isolating. And so just having the group there for support, for me as a therapist, and in, a place to bring some of these tough cases is hugely helpful.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad. Yeah. And then so I added in the happy hours, and that's been a lot of fun for the people who are able to come. And we have people that can't do the evening one. So we're going to do a daytime social time. I don't like calling it happy hour in the day, just to think. So somebody suggested we call it tea time. So we might be doing a tea time so people can meet those outside of their little group. Because, there's 6 to 8 people in your group, but we have a big community. And then, of course, we have the private Facebook group where you guys can interact as well.
And I love that you are so hands-on in terms of really taking your leadership role seriously, and yet inviting so many people into the space and being so inclusive and so supportive, and really helping other people get the most out of it and shine. And I really think that the groups are thoughtfully put together, it seems, and you can feel that. So the container feels like a really safe space.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe two things that maybe you guys could speak to. One is that we have practitioners with different theoretical orientations. And, can someone speak to how you see that play out in a case consultation?
Yeah.
All right.
I can. Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I had one recently where, we were having a discussion, and it kind of served as validation a lot, that people were seeing my struggle with it and were relating to me about it and being very supportive. But then someone else came in with a different perspective that I hadn't considered, because that's not my orientation. But it really added value to what I was doing for my orientation. Like it kind of fit in, even though it was from a different modality. And I really appreciated being able to see something from a different point of view that I wouldn't be able to see otherwise, because I don't know that modality. So and though I wasn't sort of practicing that modality, it still helped me shine a light on my own and what I was doing in my work. And that was really valuable to me.
Yeah.
And I do like hearing from different perspectives. So another great thing about this that I don't think I mentioned, that I just would like to say quickly, is that there are people of many different backgrounds, states, years in the field, experiences in the field. And it's really nice to have a mix of perspectives.
Mhm.
And yet everybody is rooting for their group mate.
Yeah.
Even when we disagree or we may see things a little bit differently, it's still in a really supportive atmosphere. I keep saying supportive, but that's what it is for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, just my goal is to make it really safe and respectful. You can disagree with somebody nicely, or you can maybe correct someone a little bit if they have some outdated terminology and they just like need to have something shared with them. But the other thing about all the different orientations, because the depth of the conversations we've had because of that has just like, I had not anticipated that. It makes total sense, but it just wasn't something that I was thinking about. But you also get exposure to other orientations. So if you're thinking about like, what kind of trainings do I want to do this year? Like maybe you really love the way someone's perspective is being applied to your case. And you think like you wouldn't have that exposure otherwise. And all of a sudden you're getting to see this other, therapeutic modality or orientation. And you're like, wow, I really like that. And it had a number of members that have specifically sought out trainings because of what their group members are doing. So that's been really interesting. Yeah. And what you were saying, Renee, too, that when I first started this, people were saying, I'm seasoned and I'm experienced. I only want to be with experienced practitioners. And what I tried to tell them, and I think it's actually proved to be true, is that, the new therapists come in and they've got the passion and the excitement like we all had when we entered the field. And it's so fun to see that. And we get infused with that passion and that energy. And so the seasoned therapists really benefit from that. And then, of course, the seasoned therapists are bringing the wisdom and the experience and all of that. So that's been really fun to watch as well. And the people that had concerns about being in a mixed group, they've been really happy with the way it's worked out. So that's been great.
Good. I mean, that's one reason I love clinical supervision, with new therapists is that energy and enthusiasm and it kind of keeps me on my toes and the ability to get different ideas from different people. And knowing what other people's orientations are and some of their treatment modalities, it really sparks my curiosity. I may, look into, an orientation or a technique that I'm not that familiar with. And so I do. Yeah, I love that about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I really, really appreciate you all coming and sharing your thoughts. Does anyone have anything else they want to share before I wrap us up?
I just wanted to thank you. I mean, I think I thanked you before via email, but I thanked you for inviting me to the group because, I mean, I do supervision for master's level social worker, and I do it individually. I've not actually done it in a group until like recently, and having this as another avenue to get information, to get thoughts and ideas. I just happened to, finish group supervision at 6 o'clock and had enough time to, scoot and boot around the house and do stuff. But it lends itself to just that higher level of support and thinking of how can I best serve my clients. I have my clients that I serve in my practice, but I also have social workers that I'm bringing, for the lack of the better word, bringing into the field. And I'd like to give them, this is my crazy word, a plethora of viewpoints and ideas and just thoughts to think about. And this venue allows for that. I know some of the people in my cohort are all the way in California. I live in the South. Total different demographics, price point, clients that we serve. So I'm afforded an opportunity to see a lot that I wouldn't normally see, even if I did group supervision here face to face. This allows just, like I said, I happened to meet 3 new friends from across the pond. I would have never connected with them if it wasn't for this platform. So, I mean, I thank you for just the thought of doing it and then following through on it. And you don't know how much you've touched me and kept me in the field, because I was I was on the phrase going, yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And then, just like I said, it allows for us to take a breath when we're dealing with cases, and even when we're dealing with our practices. Are we doing this right? Oh, I'm not sure. Let me check. We have a place, and it's not just you, it's the collective that we have. So the doors have slung open for myself and all the people that are involved. And so thank you for doing that for us. And I know it was a thought and an idea probably when we were in training a year and a half ago, and to, see you in this particular position.
Yes.
It's a blessing.
Yes, we first met in a training. So yes, absolutely. And that was when this was all starting to come together. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate you being here, and I will see some of you in a few days at your group.